Just like a master storyteller, Python gives you the power and the tools to manipulate strings, allowing you to create results that captivate both humans and computers alike. Welcome to another fascinating lesson in our beginner Python course. In this video, we'll explore the captivating world of working with strings in Python. Strings are essential data types that enable us to work with and manipulate text in our Python programs. Get ready and let's explore various string operations in Python. Let's start by creating a new Python file. In your PyCharm IDE, right-click on the project folder, select New, and then Python file. Name it strings.py and press Enter. Let's close these old projects. And now let's work with our first string variable. We'll create a variable called book title and assign it the value understanding algorithms in Python. This book title, understanding algorithms in Python, is a string. And in Python, strings can be enclosed in either single quotes, like this, or double quotes, like this. Using single or double quotes is a matter of personal preference, but there are cases where one may be more suitable than the other. For instance, if you want to include an apostrophe within the book title, you need to enclose it in double quotes. Otherwise, there will be errors. Let's try it. Let's use single quotes and modify the book title to Understanding Python's Algorithms. Even before running this, you can see that there is an error. This is because when Python encounters the apostrophe here, it assumes it is the closing quote or the end of the string. So the remaining text here is seen as errors. To avoid this confusion, we need to enclose this title in double quotes. Let me remove the apostrophe first, and double quotes, and then the apostrophe, like this. In this case, single quotes will not work unless you use double quotes. Similarly, if you want to use double quotes within the book title, you need to use single quotes to prevent errors. So, for example, let's change the book title to Understanding Algorithms in quotes in Python, like this. In this example, we want to highlight the word algorithms by surrounding it with double quotes. However, this creates an error because Python interprets the second double quote here as a closing quote and sees the next word as an error, even though that is not our intention. To resolve this, we need to enclose the whole title in single quotes. Let's remove this double quote first and enclose the whole title in single quotes. Then I'll put a double quote here to highlight the word algorithms, like this. These are a few cases where you are forced to use either single quotes or double quotes to enclose your strings. Next, let's check if the data type of our book title variable is indeed a string using a function called type. To do this, we can simply write type and then open parentheses and provide the name of the variable. In this case, book title. Enter. By using the type function and providing the name of the variable, you can determine the data type of any Python variable or value. To see the output, let's print this entire line using the print function. So the code will look like this. Print, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Let's also print the book title itself and check both outputs. So I'll click here, enter, and type print, open parenthesis, book title. Now let's run this code. So right click and select Run Strings. Here we see the book title, Understanding Algorithms in Python, and then the data type as class str, indicating that it is a string. The type function is a built-in function in Python that allows you to determine the data type of any variable, not just strings. Let's try a few more examples with different data types. For example, let's create 4 new variables. So we will say author equals John Smith. Then age equals 45, height equals 1.75, is underscore married equals true. Now let's check their data types. So we'll say print, then type, open parenthesis, author. This will print the data type of the author variable. Again, we'll say print, then type, open parenthesis, age. Next, we'll say print, open parenthesis, type, open parenthesis, then height. Next, print, open parenthesis, type, open parenthesis, is underscore married. To make the output easier to read, let's print the variable names beside each data type. So in this print function, we'll open double quotes and type author, colon, close the quotes, comma, space. Next, over here, let's also come here and add quote. And then over here, we can also say book, colon, quote, comma, space. Excellent. Now let's run this code. So right click, run strings, and in the output, you can see book, understanding algorithms in Python. Book title is of class string, indicating this is a string. Author is also of class string. Age is of class int, which is an integer. Height is of class float, which is a floating point number. And married is of class bool or boolean. Next, let's move on to some basic string operations. Sometimes you may need to repeat a string multiple times. You can achieve this by using the multiplication operator. For example, using the print function, we can multiply the $sign 10 times, like this. Print, open parenthesis, quote, dollar, out of the quote, space, times, space, 10. When you run this code, it will output the $sign repeated 10 times. Let's run it and see for ourselves. Right click, run strings, and the $sign is repeated 10 times. Now let's change the number to 100 and run the code again. So we come up here and say 100, right click, run strings, and we have the $sign 100 times. Beautiful. This can be applied to any string or text in Python. In place of the $sign, let me write Python and run the code again, and we have Python 100 times. I'm glad that you are making progress in working with strings. This lesson is designed to showcase the various ways professional programmers manipulate strings when coding in Python. Next, let's explore multi-line strings. In Python, you can create multi-line strings by enclosing them in triple quotes. Let's create a variable called message and assign it to a multi-line string. So we use triple quotes. 1, 2, 3, enter. Enter again. And assign it to the message hello D, comma, enter, enter. This is a multi-line string in Python. It can span across multiple lines. Enter, enter. Thank you. Now let's print the message variable using the print function. So we'll type print, open parenthesis, message. Let's run this code. Right click, run strings, and this is the message. Hello D. This is a multi-line string in Python. It can span across multiple lines. Thank you. Multi-line strings are useful when you want to write longer blocks of text in your code. Also, you can directly print a multi-line string without using a variable. For example, let me close this. And instead of the message variable, we can simply say print, open parenthesis. Then at the end here, we close the parenthesis. We don't need this print again. Let's run this code and see. Run strings, and we have the same message. Also note that when it comes to multi-line strings, you can enclose them with triple single quotes like this, or you can use triple double quotes like this, depending on your preference. Both the triple single quote and triple double quotes can be used interchangeably for multi-line strings in Python. Next, in mastering how to work with strings, let's take a look at some common built-in string methods in Python. Let's create a new Python file and name it stringmethods.py and press enter. Let's explore a few of these string methods and understand how they can be applied to solve various string manipulation problems in Python. Let's start by asking the user for input. To do this, we'll create a variable called name and use the input function to prompt the user with the question, "What is your name?" It's important to note that every input received with the input function is stored as a string. However, since users may accidentally input errors such as extra white spaces, wrong characters, incorrect text casing, and more, let's introduce some built-in string methods to help solve these types of errors. First, let's print a greeting message with a name variable and try some examples. So we write print hello space out of the quote plus name. The text hello and closing quote is called a string literal, while the name represents a string variable. In Python, you can combine two strings using the plus operator, and this process is known as string concatenation. Let's run this code. So right click, run string methods, and it says, "What is your name?" Let's intentionally input some white spaces before and after the name. So D space 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 and press enter. The response is hello D. This output is not what we want. And since we cannot control what users may input, let's use a special string method to solve this problem. We'll use a string method called strip. The strip method is used to remove spaces at the beginning and end of a string. So we'll click here, and over here we'll type dot strip. Let's run our program again and test it. So right click, run string methods. What is your name? Let's intentionally add the white spaces. Then D extra spaces and press enter. And the response now is hello D. So you can see that using the strip function, all the white spaces have been stripped away, and now we have hello D. Excellent. The next set of string methods we'll learn about are used to modify the case of a string in Python. We will start with a string method called capitalize. This string method capitalizes the first character of a string and converts the rest of the characters to lowercase. So we'll click here and press enter and write name equals name.capitalize. Now let's run the code again, and this time I'll enter my full name in lowercase. So we right click, run string methods. What is your name? And I'll write my full name, Darlington Fathams, and press enter. And the output is hello Darlington Fathams. Notice that only the first letter of the full name is capitalized. Now let's explore another string method called upper, which converts all the characters in a string to uppercase. Let me close this window and let's apply it right here. So instead of capitalize, we'll write upper. Let's run the code again. What is your name? And I'll enter my full name again in lowercase, Darlington Fathams. You can see that all the letters in the full name are capitalized. Next, we'll discuss the string method called lower, which converts all the characters in a string to lowercase. So right here, let's change upper to lower and run the code again. What is your name? And this time I'll enter my full name in uppercase. So Darlington Fathams. Enter. Now notice that even though we enter the full name in uppercase, it is converted to lowercase. The next string method we'll discuss is called title, which capitalizes the first character of each word in a string. Let's see it in action. So over here, we'll write name.title. Let's run the code again. What is your name? Darlington Fathams. Enter. Now, notice that the first character of the first name and the first character of the last name are capitalized. This method is particularly useful for names and titles. To simplify our code, let's incorporate the title method into the input statement and remove this line. So let's clear this line. And over here, we'll type dot title. Beautiful. This gives us a few lines of code, makes our code cleaner, and achieves the same purpose. To conclude this lesson, let's explore two additional useful string operations: the split method and formatted strings, also known as f-strings. The split method allows us to divide a string into multiple smaller substrings or into a list by using a specified separator. By default, the separator is a space. For example, let's modify this code and run it and enter the full name and then split the full name into first name and last name using the split method. Here's how we can do it. First, let's add comments to our code. So, hash space, ask the user for their name. Then, hash space, say hello to the user. Over here, let me insert another comment and say hash split name into first name and last name. To do this, we'll write the name variable and write dot split, then open parentheses, quotes, and provide a separator, which is a space. This means that wherever there's a space in the full name, Python will split it into multiple parts. And now watch this. Since we know there are only two components in the full name, we'll instruct Python to store them as follows. So we'll click here and type first name, comma, space, last name, space, equals this operation. This way, after splitting the full name, the first name will be stored in this first name variable and the last name will be stored in this last name variable. This process is known as unpacking in Python. Now let's update the greeting message to hello first name and run the code again. So we right click, run string methods, what is your name, and I'll type Darlington Adams and press enter. Although I entered my full name, the output is hello Darlington. Excellent. Finally, let's explore formatted strings or f-strings in Python. F-strings allow us to easily include variables within strings. For example, instead of writing this greeting message, we can directly include the variables within the string by using curly braces like this. So over here, we will open a curly brace and a curly brace. We can also include the last name with another curly brace, last name, and all this can be within the quotes. So let me clear this and put a quote over here. And lastly, over here, we'll put an F. This is known as f-strings. As you progress in Python, you'll find that using f-strings is the simplest and most convenient way to create strings with embedded variables. To make the output clearer, let's add some punctuations. So over here, we say hello, comma, first name in curly braces, last name in curly braces. These are the f-strings. And over here, before the last quote, I will include an exclamation mark. Let's run the code again. So right click, run string methods. What is your name? And I'll enter my name in lowercase, Darlington Adams, and press enter. And the final output is hello Darlington Adams. Excellent. And congratulations on reaching this milestone in your learning journey. You've made significant progress, and I want to encourage you on your way to joining the ranks of successful Python programmers. Keep learning, and remember that every step forward brings you closer to achieving your goals. If you encountered any errors, don't hesitate to share them in the comment section below. I'm here to assist you every step of the way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.